Tiger out Lawrenceville, Senior Master Mostil. We're here with Technique Tuesday, and I want to talk about and clarify some things on the round kick today. Now, first off, very simple, we're going to do one discrepancy between a form round kick, like you're doing your Hoam form, what's needed there, versus what you're doing when you're sparring, and then talk a little bit briefly about the self-defense situation. Now, the only big difference there between how your round kick gets executed, etc., is your foot being edged. If you are doing a round kick in forms competition, you want your foot to be with your toes pulled back as if you were trying to make your toes reach your knee. You're pulling your toes back toward your knee or toward your shin. Now, if you are sparring, however, you want to hit with the top of your foot, so you point your toes straight. That's going to be different. That foot pad is on there, it's covered. It also gives you more reach for sparring purposes. So that's how we do that in sparring versus forms. Now, in a real life situation, you kind of have a debate to make. Depending on the shoes you're wearing, you have a hard toe shoe, edge that foot, drive that toe into that person, that attacker, whatever. That's awesome. You may not have that protection. You don't want to really hit your toes. Some people are great at getting their toes to pull just all the way straight back and can nail it with the ball of the foot. If you can do that, that is awesome. Not everybody can do that. If you cannot pull your toes back at almost a right angle, then that's going to be very difficult for you or very painful for you if you end up smashing your toes into that. So that's the first thing, is just edging your foot. Now, the next thing, and make sure you understand this because everybody's going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to tell you the right way, and then I'm going to tell you what happens a lot of times. The right way for a round kick to be executed is for the knee and ankle to go same height, straight across one level plane. It is not to come up and arc angled. Now, with that in mind, you may have flexibility issues, you may have hip joint issues, arthritic issues, things that make it to where you kind of curve this process in your lift and swing, and that's the best that you can do. And if that's the best you can do and you need to make those adjustments physically because you are limited in some way, then that's totally fine. You're doing the best that you can do. That's all that can be expected. But don't mistake that for correct. If you can lift it level, make it knee and ankle same height, make it travel one straight line, that's where you're going to get most of your force. Otherwise, part of your energy is going upward and part is going into the target. You want to have all of your energy going into the target. If you think of a Major League Baseball player, they swing the bat straight. As they swing it straight across, notice they're not swinging it angled or this way coming up, because part of their energy would be going one way and part would be going another. You want your round kick in the same context as that. So, if you are correctly doing the round kick, we're going to use the chair kind of as an idea set up. But things to remember: number one, hips start to turn. My hips, my foot is back. I'm in that nice sparring stance, that back stance. My foot is back and I start to turn my upper body first. As I do that, my lift is back here. It's not in front to turn over later unless I was trying to trick somebody in a sparring competition type of thing or something. I want power, I want this to be effective, I want this to be set correctly. My hip needs to lead and my leg then needs to lift behind me back here. The foot that I'm standing on should pivot so basically 180 degrees so that the heel is pointing in the same direction as where my target is. Basically my heel of the foot I'm standing on is pointing at my target. Turn and my knee should point straight ahead. Now, my body should be flat here. A great way to practice this at home is if you can lay your body flat against a wall and lift your leg and it's flat, then you know that you've got that correct. If your knee is bumping the wall and your body can't go against it, you need to try to pull your heel as if you're trying to make your heel touch your spine. So again, lifting up behind us, I want to have this heel back here, not over here somewhere. Now my angle is off. My round kick is going over here. I want my knee pointed straight at my target here so that my round kick executes this way. Now, a great habit to build up in the process of that is when you retract your leg after the kick, try to get the habit of your heel coming back to hit you in the rear. Now, this way. Now, that doesn't need to happen on a regular basis. What that is that's building a good habit on your retraction, then you can scale it back. It is far easier to scale back a good habit than it is to break through a bad one. If you don't tend to retract your leg and you tend to just drop it, it's going to be hard to build up the habit of retraction. If your tendency is to try to hit yourself with your heel in the rear every time you throw your round kick, when you start actually using it in sparring situations and so on, you're going to slightly lessen that retraction for speed purposes and stuff, doubling up, tripling up, but you're going to have a really good retraction. So that's just something ideal to do on that. Make sure, again, as you lift, if you can get this level up and over the chair, that's what you want to do, because if you notice, that's now traveling 100% of my energy straight across into my target and then retract back. That is the breakdown of the round kick. Make sure that you practice that at home, and I will catch you guys soon on the mats.